So I just woke up really early. It's around 6:45 right now because I really wanted to catch the sunrise. Scratch that. I just got annihilated by mosquitoes. I would actually pay $500 for bug spray right now because that was unbearable. Welcome back to my channel. It is my once a year debut back on YouTube, and I'm making it a conscious effort to create more content on YouTube because I love chatting with you guys. So yeah, I just got back from Cuba and I did not have the greatest experience at all. It was a bit of a gong show, and bear with me, I'm a little bit sick. I keep getting sick like every single month. I couldn't even get glammed up for you guys. Just wanted to kind of run through a bit of the pros and cons because I genuinely wasn't prepared for my trip to Cuba, and I did a lot of research prior to going, but I was very underprepared when I actually got there. So I just don't want anyone else to be in the same position that I was in when I went to Cuba. So some of the bad experiences that I did have on my trip, and I think this was just kind of like a one-off thing because I was talking to some other people there, and honestly I have been hearing the worst of worst stories and I've been hearing amazing stories, but this is just my personal experience. When we did get there, there were assaults that happened on the resort. People were getting beaten up and robbed. So I think that this should be clear no matter where you go. Do not go out alone. Make sure that you are always accompanied by someone else, because this isn't just exclusive to my resort or Cuba. It is anywhere you go. You should not be, especially as a female, be wandering around even your resort by yourself, because you never know what is going to happen. In my resort specifically, the power did go out, so that was really terrifying because it was actually at night, so no one could get into their rooms and no one could eat. Like, food is very limited, and I will say this, if you do have any sort of dietary restrictions, whether that be gluten intolerant or vegetarian, your food is very limited there, so make sure that you do bring like your own snacks. I thought I was going to be okay because I usually survive off bread and cheese anyways, so when people are telling me, oh, it's just going to be like bread and cheese, I was like, oh, perfect, that's like my everyday. No, you cannot. I mean, you can survive off bread and cheese, but your energy is just going to be down here. So just bring some snacks, or honestly bring supplements. I wish that's something that I brought was like AG1, is that what it's called? You know, those like fruits and vegetable supplements that you just put into your drinks. I really wish that I brought that because I would have loved to work out. I love going to beachy areas and like going for runs along the beach, but I was so deprived of energy because of the lack of food that I just didn't have the energy to do that. So I was really trying to preserve my energy there. Now, this was like the biggest thing when traveling to Cuba was the bugs. I did not know that the bugs were going to be this bad. Look at this. It is so itchy and it's everywhere. Oh, Jesus. People were going to the hospitals because there were so many bites. Like, you were getting like eaten alive by the bugs that were there. So also make sure that you have some sort of Benadryl bug spray, because you cannot get that on the resort. I don't know about anywhere else. I was in Cayo Coco, and I know that the necessities, I guess in a sense, were very limited. So you weren't able to buy sunscreen, you weren't able to buy bug spray, and the bugs are bad. The sand fleas are bad. The sand fleas will eat you alive, and so will the mosquitoes. The bugs here are absolutely relentless, and they have like these little, I think they're baby mosquitoes. I don't know, maybe they're gnats. Like, I'm getting bit right now and it's brutal. I'm so itchy, I have bites everywhere. Ow! God damn it, these bugs, they're so bad. Guys, I'm getting eaten alive. I don't understand this right now. This is so bad. Damn it. I attempted to come down and watch the sunrise, and journal a little bit and be close to the ocean. No, that is not possible here. You are going to get, again, eaten out! Eaten alive. All right, I think this is done. I need to go find some bug spray. This is so bad. It wasn't this bad yesterday, but I am just absolutely destroyed. This is fucked. So here's what to bring to Cuba if you think about going to Cuba. Now, the beaches are beautiful. Oh my God. No freaking way. Beautiful. Oh my goodness. I was in paradise. For the first and second day, I was like, this is amazing. I can deal with the lack of food. I thought I could deal with the lack of food for a little bit, but by the 7th day, like, you are really, really starving. When they say you're losing weight in Cuba, you are losing weight in Cuba. My stomach is shrank to like this big. Also, don't really expect any sort of luxurious stay, because even in like the most luxurious resorts in Cuba, they're still pretty limited, and they're like a 3 or 4 star anywhere else you go. So don't expect the Ritz when you go to Cuba, because you're not going to get that. What to bring? You're definitely gonna want Pepto. I was suggested not to eat any of the fresh food, like fruits and vegetables and salads and stuff like that. I know people were getting sick just because their water is not the cleanest water. I did avoid that. One thing I did bring, and this was such an amazing investment, was the Life Straw water bottle. This was the only thing that I genuinely prepared myself with when I did go to Cuba, was bring one of these. So if you have the tap water, then you would just put it in this water bottle and it filters everything out. Now, I don't know the extent of this water bottle. I will have to do a little bit more research on this, because I don't know if you could bring this to a place like Mexico and drink the tap water there, but I was fine with the filtered tap water in Cuba with this. I survived off this water bottle. I'm still using it now just to rid myself of any of the chlorine in, you know, my tap water in Toronto. Anti-itch cream. Like I said, you get eaten alive. You are absolutely annihilated when you go to Cayo Coco. I can't speak for the rest of Cuba, but for Cayo Coco specifically, because that's where I was and this was my experience, you are getting eaten alive. Bring bug spray. I can't even explain this enough. Bring bug spray. Bring 2, 4. If you have to. Like, people were going to the hospital because no one was prepared, and the people that were prepared, they're not sharing. They're not, like, I was waiting in the lobby for people to go home to be like, hey, I will buy your bug spray off of you, because you can't enjoy the beach. You can't go on the beach because you were just eaten alive. Lavender also. Lavender essential oil, I heard, was amazing for keeping bugs off. So if you wanted to go the more holistic route, lavender oil. But be careful of any sort of essential oils when you're in the heat, because it can burn your skin. Snacks, you are going to want snacks. Bring a can of Pringles, bring some ramen, bring anything, because like I said, you are very, very limited on the food that you can eat. I survived off of bread and cheese, and I am traumatized. I haven't even touched cheese since I got back home, because I'm so grossed out by the cheese that I was eating there and the amount of cheese that I was eating. No thank you. I'm done with that for a little bit. I have to do a little bit of a detox there. Benadryl and Tylenol, again, because their resources are so limited. God forbid anything happens. Sunblock, another thing that you will not be able to access when you are in Cayo Coco, and aloe. So if you do get burnt, again, like someone went to the hospital because they were severely burnt, bring your sunblock, because that is another thing that you're gonna have to be buying off of people or begging people, and by that point you're probably already too burnt to even enjoy the beach. Now for the staff, because they are super limited with what they have, any sort of toiletries, any sort of like sunscreens or whatever they need, you know, like the necessities, I would bring that, and like I would leave that for the staff. And in Cuba, they do accept euros, Canadian money, and USD. They do not accept coins, by the way. So we actually had a gentleman come up to my friend and I and giving us the Canadian coins because they weren't able to take it, so we would just swap them out, our bills, and we would take their coins. And then if there's any, like even like the slightest little rip in any of the bills, Cuba will not take that. Like the staff will take it, they're very grateful, they are the most wonderful people I've ever had the pleasure of meeting in my entire life, but they wouldn't be able to go to like a store and hand a $5 bill that has like a tiny bit of a rip in it. So just be mindful of the money that you are bringing. It has to be in like prestige condition. But anyways, like I was saying, like the trip wasn't all bad, although I did have like some really horrific experiences while I was in Cuba. I don't even want to get into that anymore because it was just not something that I want to portray Cuba as. I think it was a one-time personal experience for me. The beaches are absolutely stunning. I've been to a lot of places and this just, I felt like I was in heaven, like actual heaven. It was so beautiful. The people there are the most selfless people that I've ever had the pleasure of meeting in my entire life. I think that they are absolutely wonderful people, and I'm talking about the Cubans. Well, I guess the people on the resort too. They were really, really nice because we were all trauma bonded. But Cubans specifically, they are just wonderful, wonderful people. And I've never wanted to deter anyone from visiting Cuba, but I will say if you are going to go to Cuba, make sure that you are prepared because you are so limited on everything. Everything. I hope this video helped, and I can't wait to hear about your trip if you do end up going to Cuba. And I will see you hopefully in the next 2 weeks. Bye.